Big news dropping into BKFC today. Big news. BKFC 82 is scheduled for this Saturday night in Newark at the Prudential Center, featuring the main event of Mike Perry versus Jeremy Stevens. Co-main event is Jessica Borga versus Christine Faria. It's for the king and the queen of violence. And when this card got dropped, I had mixed feelings about it. And I still do, actually. And I'm going to do a preview of the card, actually, that'll drop on Friday. And I'm going to do a probably individual videos on the Mike Perry, Jeremy Stevens fight and the Jessica Borga, Christine Faria fight. Because in my opinion, the main event of this entire evening is Christine Faria, Jessica Borga. Those two women have a beef. They want to break each other's faces off, and I'm all for it. And I can't wait for this fight card. In terms specifically that fight itself is massive, and I'm so excited about that specific fight. But the card itself, I I had questions, I had reservations. However, what transpired today, or what was released today, is that apparently Frankie Edgar, who was broadcast as going to be part of this card, a big part of this big event in Jersey. He's from Jersey, all that stuff. He's officially out for BKFC 82. Officially out. His BKFC career has ended before it has started. And I'm not here to be rude, be mean, but when he was announced as a fighter for the BKFC, I had reservations. This is a guy who has had a great UFC career. Nothing you can take away from it. He's a Hall of Fame fighter, won championships, amazing fighter, but spent the better part of the last 6 years getting his head beaten in. Bluntly, better part of the last 6 years getting his head beaten in. Four of his last five fights ended with him getting knocked out. Knocked out. Prior to him being knocked out by Brian Ortega, nobody could knock out Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar had an iron jaw, an iron will. But at some point, everyone's jaw and everyone's will is broken. And his was broken when he lost to Brian Ortega via knockout. That was back in March of 2018. Since that fight, Frankie Edgar went 2-6 in the UFC when you include the Ortega fight. And he lost five of those fights via knockout. Typically pretty devastating knockout. He last fought in the UFC in November of 2022. So when the announcement got made that he was going to be in the BKFC, I was like, yo, this is dangerous. This is scary because his jaw has not been able to withstand the UFC. BKFC is a different ball right there. You know, for the guys that leave the UFC and come over to BKFC because they have hands, because, they're struggling to stop takedowns, it makes a lot of sense. But when you're getting knocked out every single time you step into the ring or the cage, the BKFC is not right for you. He retired a few years ago. He was named to the Hall of Fame in the UFC. And then he decides he's going to come and fight in the BKFC. Before we jump in, continue. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Combat Corner, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Show Mock. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I just didn't like it. I wasn't a fan of the fight. He's fighting. He was supposed to be fighting Jimmie Rivera. Apparently now Timmy Mason will be stepping in to fight Jimmie Rivera. Timmy Mason's a tough dude. He's a tough dude, and he's coming off of a win in Sturgis. He won his last fight in Sturgis over AJ Craig, knockout, and end of round one. He is 2-2 in his BKFC career, and he'll be taking on Jimmie Rivera. This card has taken a massive blow because a lot of those tickets in Jersey were sold for Frankie Edgar. And that is the danger that is the dangerous part of risking or bringing on guys who are long in the tooth, who are subject to knockout. From what I've been told and what I've seen and what I've read, he didn't clear something with the New Jersey Athletic Commission. Are you really surprised? Is that a surprise that he didn't clear the clear a commission? Guy's been knocked out constantly. I was actually worried about the dude. I thought this whole idea of him fighting this was crazy. Exciting, sure. You want to see how he does, but crazy. And then they had him as the co-main event initially, and then it got flipped this past week by David Feldman, and they moved Faria and Borga into that spot. I have to wonder now if that was already known that Frankie Edgar was going to be taken off the card. I'm just a question I ask. Faria Borga is the co-main event. Hell, Faria Borga is the main event. For Bad Blood, for all that's on the line, it's the biggest fight of this card. It's one of the biggest fights of the year in the BKFC. The event, I get it. They have to pack the house. They have to sell tickets for a building like the Prudential Center. I understand all that. But it's very, very dangerous when you put in a guy who is old, bluntly old, and old not just in age, but old in physical wear and tear. He was getting pieced up in the UFC. Pieced up. And it's interesting right now because I'm looking at the card. I don't even know what's on the card now because I thought Johnny Garbarino was on this card, and I don't see him on this card either. I don't see him on this card either. I'm wondering if he got pulled. It looks like he might be off the card. Let's see right here. I'm pulling this thing up. Johnny Garbarino yesterday decided that he is off of the card. He has an injury. I don't know what the injury is. It doesn't say specifically, but he is off this card. So there's no Johnny Garbarino on this card. Look, man, reality is this. These types of decisions are risky. And when they bite you in the ass, they can bite you in the ass. And this one, I think, bit them in. I think it bit the BKFC in the ass. You can't trust these old, washed out UFC fighters, man. You can't trust that they're going to get there. BKFC is different. I really want to see the BKFC truly develop their guys from within. I want those guys these guys, these young dudes that are coming up, I want to see those guys develop from within. Because you should never have a situation like this where you're popping off a big card and you got fans now that I don't know how it will work, but you got a lot of fans that are probably going to be pissed off. I'm just being real. I don't know. It's disappointing. So Frankie Edgar is off of BKFC 82. He's been replaced by Timmy Mason. Right now, this card, from what I see, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fights. And we still have a couple more days before weigh-ins. And I've seen crazier things happen. So I don't know what's going to happen. The undercard is okay. Again, most of these guys, a lot of people don't know, but obviously there's excitement for the Mike Perry, Jeremy Stevens fight. There's huge excitement for Faria Borga. But now, Frankie Edgar, Jimmie Rivera is not happening. Rivera will fight Timmy Mason. And there's some other fights on the card. You find that Garbarino's not. I'm excited to see Elijah Harris fight again. Honestly, he's a good fighter. He hits hard. He hits hard. But y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments, because what did you think when you first heard that Frankie Edgar was going to be on this card? What did you think? Did you have thoughts that maybe this thing ain't going to work out, or what? Because from what I'm reading online, it looks like he didn't get cleared, and can't say that's a shocker. Apparently, the New Jersey State Athletic Commission is a difficult commission. I mean, it has to be, because they just opened it up for this. So unfortunate to hear, but not completely shocked. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. This is Combat Corner, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.
Up and down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. Up and down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, I'm going all in. from the jump. Ain't no love lost, we just really doing us. Go and take your seat, looking silly getting up. Y'all know what it is, let me tell them what it was. It was 24/7 on the